Well, sorry. Okay, we have an important guest joining into this conversation, Adi Godrej, the chairman of the Godrej Group, and at the moment to speak on Godrej Consumer is joining us. Mr. Godrej, thank you very much for joining us. Our guest editor today,
good to talk to you.
The head of research of Bank of America Merrill Lynch, Jyotivardhan Jaipuria, is also joining in the conversation, and they are betting very big on the consumption theme, and of course we hope you will enlighten us about how things are panning out here. Well, we have heard enough data as well as noises about how consumption is slowing. What is the sense you are getting in the domestic arena? In the third and the fourth quarters, do you see any improvement in consumption because of the harvest, because of the rural boom, or do you think consumption remains tepid?
Yeah, I do think that consumption demand will pick up in the third and fourth quarters. As you know, the monsoon has been very good. Agricultural output will be strong. I feel not only will agricultural output be strong, but it will have its multiplier effects on both industrial and services growth too. So I do expect consumption demand to pick up. Consumption demand did slow down a little bit in the second quarter because of the negative sentiment. But I feel the year will end reasonably well in terms of demand for fast-moving consumer goods.
Mr. Godrej, good morning. Before I toss over to our guest editor, I just wanted to ask you about the margin performance, because this time around it was solid, almost a 300 basis points year-on-year bump up in margins. You do have certain pressures like higher ad spends, lower margins from the international business, etc. Do you see that as a hindrance to incremental increase in margins, or do you think this 54% level can be sustained going ahead?
There are many ups and many downs to margin, but overall our margins have been improving. One, commodity prices have been reasonable over the recent past. Secondly, we are putting a tremendous emphasis on cost cutting, whether it is cost of purchases, whether it is efficiency in sales and marketing, efficiency in manufacture. So we are gaining margins through efficient operations on a regular basis, and that has helped us improve margins.
Okay. Mr. Godrej, like I told you, Mr. Jaipuria, the head of research at Bank of America Merrill Lynch, is our guest editor today. He's joining into the conversation.
Yeah. Hi, Jyoti, how are you?
Hi Jyoti.
This inflation's been a worry for most people. So is that hurting consumer demand?
I think the inflation effect on FMCG is mainly in the food sector, and even in the food sector there are certain items where prices have come down. In the non-food sector, I don't think inflation is a major factor during the last 6 months. During the last couple of years, inflation even in the non-food sector had a major impact. And I feel now with the better agricultural season, going forward, the inflationary impact in FMCG will be rather low. And I think most of the inflationary impact could be absorbed by FMCG companies through efficiency improvements.
Okay, actually, Mr. Godrej, my question on demand also was, dovetailing what Jyoti referred to as inflation actually taking away disposable income. The food bill of every household is probably increased twofold if you looked at the prices, rising prices of, eggs, milk, vegetables, that entire basket. So, you're showing a 20% rise in sales year on year. Will you be able to maintain that, or will that improve at all, or you just stick to that 20% growth because of the nature of demand?
See, Lata, Godrej Consumer Products is in a good position in that of the three major categories we are in, which is household insecticides, hair color and personal wash. The only one that is fully penetrated and where category growths are low is personal wash. The soap business is not growing very rapidly, the category itself. Whereas in our other two categories, they are extremely under-penetrated. There are a very large number of non-users, and the ability to convert non-users to users is what creates growth. And especially in our household insecticides business, which is our single biggest category, the fear of malaria and dengue has led to higher consumption and higher penetration. And we being leaders in the field, we have approximately 45% market share in the field. We have been spearheading this increase in penetration, and that has led to very strong growth. So both our hair color business and our household insecticide business have been growing in the mid-20s during the last couple of quarters.
It's interesting you point out the segment-wise performance, Mr. Godrej, because in the soap segment, like you pointed out yourself, from double-digit growth that you saw in Q1, you've slipped to about 3-4% volume growth in the quarter gone by. Do you see many more quarters of single-digit, low single-digit volume growth in the soaps category itself? And will this perhaps even drag down your overall revenue performance in the second half of the year?
The soap category has always been growing in single digit in volume terms. It has never grown in double digit in volume terms. But in value terms, sometimes it has grown considerably because of price increases. Now in the last quarter, there was, in fact, the average prices were lower than in the corresponding quarter of the previous year. So volume growth was reasonable, but value growth was also relatively low. But overall, with as I explained in our other two categories and some other smaller categories we play in, we expect strong growth to continue. And we expect our growth will be around domestic sales growth will be around the 15 to 20% level.
Jyoti?
If I just ask you one strategic question, sir, how do you look at the international business versus the domestic business? Is your focus going to be more international, domestic, or it's going to be a mixed bag?
No, our focus will be on both. We are clearly committed to produce the highest possible growth in India. We produce a lot of cash. We work on negative working capital. It's only on our surplus funding which we are investing in international acquisitions, and that too in the developing world where growth is strong. And because our international business is growing inorganically too, our international business over the last 10 to 12 quarters has been growing faster than our Indian business. And in the quarter just ended, our Indian business grew about 17% and our total consolidated business grew 23%. Our international business grew about a little over 30%.
So 5 years later, would international be a bigger piece of the business than it is today?
It is already a 48% salience in the last quarter. That salience has been growing. I think the salience will cross 50% soon. So yes, I think our international business is likely to grow faster than our Indian business. But of course, we are also open to acquisitions in India. So if a suitable strategic and accretive acquisition comes along, that could make the Indian business grow fast too. So it's very difficult to predict which will be the faster growing business over a period of time.
Fair point.
Just one final word, a follow-up to that. Are there any acquisitions planned in 2014 itself?
Well, we have an agreement with a Pan-African group called Darling, which has manufacturing operations in 14 sub-Saharan African countries, that we will gradually be taking over 51% shareholding in the various geographies. We've already taken over in South Africa, Mozambique, Kenya and Nigeria, and we're likely to add a couple of new geographies before the end of this financial year. And we will be adding more such geographies in the Darling group over the next financial year too.
All right, Mr. Godrej, thank you very much indeed for joining us. I guess one point
Good
that
talking to you.
One point that Mr. Godrej made and which will bring him envy from a large part of corporate India would be negative operating leverage. We sit on so much cash.
We should actually ask Jyoti what his key takeaway was from that discussion and on the stock as well.
Yeah, so they are doing well, their business is doing well. The whole sector is also doing well. The issue for the sector just is valuations are expensive. Everybody owns it, it's done very well. So do we see a move away from this? So whenever we start seeing some improvement in the domestic economy, I think it's a sector which will start underperforming because everybody will want to move away from this sector into something which is cheaper.
Fair point. We'll take a break on that note. We'll have another consumption giant joining us. Mr. R.C. Bhargava of Maruti Suzuki will be joining us in a minute.